A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video in this amazing YouTube channel that goes by the name Maxwell Lumumba. And today we are going to discuss about mob justice almost claimed another life, the shocking truth that has changed everything. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 2 weeks we have experienced 2 people being unalived by mob justice. One of them being suspected to have been to have stole a cow, and that individual was a YouTuber called Omari Chacha from Nyabuhanse village. Another person was allegedly or was suspected to have stolen cooking oil. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not take the law into our hand and unalive people. And today I'm going to discuss a very serious incident that has raised important question about mob justice, false accusation, police anger, police investigation, and the value of human life for the first time. And I have to congratulate Mayuguno, because Mayuguno took a responsibility by himself and called the police officers after this person was caught by the mob justice. The crowd was there, and we could even see the complaint being dragged to the whole incident. Now, this case took another twist that now the complaint wanted to be beaten with the mob justice for giving out a false accusation. So, from the information that I'm going to show us, and I'm going to translate every word systematically so that every individual can really understand what was happening. And a man was allegedly accused of being a thief. A crowd gathered quickly, and what started as shouting could easily have become another tragic mob justice case. The more shocking part is that after questioning both sides, I've never seen mob justice questioning the both sides. Behold, and this is what the subscriber themselves were asking, that before mob justice unalive somebody, why can't they question these individuals? Even in my last live stream, we were talking about the same story. Even subscribers were asking that. I know being a thief is very bad, but unaliving somebody is also a criminal offense. So members of the crowd reportedly began doubting whether the accused person was actually a thief, and that is the question I want us to think about throughout this video. Was it, what if the crowd had acted first, then ask questions later? And that is what happened with Omari Chacha, a YouTuber in Nyabuhanse village. Will another innocent person have lost his life? Let us watch these clips, and I'm going to translate it systematically. Then we dive deep to the whole situation. Stay tuned. The video is starting. We see Mayuguno running, breathing so heavily, and calling another person so as to give him police number.
Let me call them. Good. So we are trying to just stop that violence, Here. Hey, Afande.
Yes.
Abari.
Mayuguno says he has got the number and is calling the police officer.
Yes, ni Mayuguno. Yeah.
Afande means police. Hello, it is Mayuguno over here.
Kuna mwizi alikuwa anakimbizwa huku kwetu hapa Nyabuhanse chini. Yeah, but maaskari wamefika hapa akatafutwa akakosekana akaenda. So
Mayuguno tells the officer there is a thief who was being chased in this village here in Nyabuhanse down, and police officers were here. They tried looking for that thief, and the thief was nowhere to be seen.
After polisi wameenda, So ndo huyu mwizi amepatikana. So kama unaweza ukawapigia maaskari warudi.
Muguno tells the officer that after the police left is when this thief has been found. So he was requesting if is there a possibility of telling the officers to come back.
Wasaidie ujamaa before wawe.
Mayuguno is requesting the officer that he is speaking to in the mobile conversation that please call the police who were here, who actually went back because this thief wasn't found, so that they can come back and rescue this individual before things turn out to be messy, or this individual, there is a possibility he can be unalived.
Wanampiga. Yeah. Ni maaskari wa Nyabo hapa.
The officer is asking, are they beating him? Mayuguno tells her that yes, they are beating him. The officer is now like in a tense saying that let me call the officers. Yeah, and he goes ahead and asks, are the officer that came initially from Nyabuhanse? Then Mayuguno responds, yes, they were officers from Nyabuhanse. Then the officer tells him that let me call them so that they can come. Yeah.
Wale.
Officer is asking the two Nyabuhanse police officers. Yes, those two police, the two police officers of Nyabuhanse. Just tell them to come and help this thief out.
Wale wawili walikuwa hapa, waje wamsaidie tu. Si vizuri. Yeah.
Muguno tells her that it is not good to unalive people, and the officer responds, let me just call them immediately.
Aye. So the guy they have captured him. He's there. So also here you have to pass very slow. If you
after that, we can hear some noise from far. Mayuguno submits that the mob has caught the thief, they suspected the thief, and they are making noise. And now the challenging part is the crossing of the bridge that we see over there, because I've seen in comment section a lot of people questioning that why can't you people make bridge? Yeah, and this will be another topic, another discussion for another day. Right now we are only speaking about what is happening currently. The thing that I'm just doing here is all about translation. So let us now go to where the thief is.
Going rushing, you can fall down. But
Muguno passes the bridge, the tree bridge well, and he rushes to where the crowd is, and he was breathing so heavily. On reaching there, this is what Mayuguno asked.
How maaskari wanakuja?
Mayuguno tells the crowd that the policemen are coming, have already made a phone call to them, so they are coming. They are on the way coming.
Nimewapigia wanakuja.
The crowd now turns against the complainant, telling him that show us the message that you transacted 10,000 shillings to this individual that you call a thief. So now things are now changing. Yeah, the person who was being suspected to be the thief, and we have the person who is the complainant. So the mob justice wants the complainant to provide message so as for them to see if it is true 10,000 shillings was sent to this individual, because the complainant now was saying 10,000 shillings has been sent to this individual, and this is what is happening.
Anadanganya.
The suspected thief now has a voice to say, he's saying, this individual is lying. He's telling us about 10,000 shillings. And the money that he gave me, it is 6,000 shillings. Suspected thief now confirmed that this message was sent November last year. The money in question was sent November last year.
Alikuwa anakudai.
Mimi ni fundi. Alikuja kwangu akatuma, akanitumia 5,000 kwa simu. Akanipe 1,000 cash.
Guy submits that he's a mason. So this guy came to him and gave him 1,000 shillings cash and 5,000 via M-Pesa. That is a mobile transaction.
Hiyo ni mwezi wa 11 mwaka jana. Jamaa kaja akakuta nimetengeneza kitu.
Hao jamaa ngoja tumpigie tu OCS.
Nimetengeneza kitu.
The person said that after receiving that money, the individual went and got that he has done one of the chairs. Then this person was not pleased with the chair. So Mayuguno interjects and say that let me call the OCS so that we call the OCS so that the police can rush here immediately.
Tuwezi kwa hizi vitu ndo tunakataa. Hatuwezi ruhusu vitu kama hizi in the community.
Jamaa kaja kakata material.
Fanya hivi.
Si tumemkamata. Naomba msikie. Na sio mwizi.
Ngoja polisi afike.
So at least there is some truth that is being witnessed. So after further interrogation of this crowd, we could hear now the crowd turning against the complainant and telling him that, you see, you're saying this person is a thief. Which thief is this person? Because if you transacted money, did he come and transact money by himself from your phone? Why are you calling this person thief? Says that we cannot allow these things to happen in the community when we are watching. Mayuguno does a follow-up call to the officers confirming if they are coming. Then he goes ahead and asks the complainant, are you actually, does this person has your money or is he a thief? Now this complainant is now saying that there is money. So after these incidents, this is what Mayuguno then say. Let us continue watching, then the whole truth will be now coming out. One of the crowd members say that we have caught him and he's not a thief. So then Mayuguno interjects and say that let the police first come and we see how this entire thing will be taking shape.
Unayofanya kama huyu jamaa ulikuwa unamdai, kama huyu jamaa ulikuwa unamdai. Niambia ukweli. Sasa wewe unamdai au amejitumia pesa?
Mayuguno becomes so furious and asks the individual that, did he steal from you or he owns you some money? So you see now, things are now changing. The person who is being suspected to be a thief, now it is coming out that the same individual is being actually this complainant. It was like, I don't know, it is obtaining money through false pretense or is it what we call scamming, some sort of scamming, yeah? Because when you give somebody money to make you a seat, then the outcome, but look at this story. The story is totally not adding up because, look, you gave out money so somebody can make you a chair. Then you go and you go and look at that chair, then you're not pleased with it. Then you tell the individual that I don't like this chair, return my money. Then individual tells you something else, yeah? Let us proceed, yeah?
Huyu ni mwizi au unamdai?
Kuna lugha zinabadilisha.
Because
hata barozi yuko hapa. Wakati
we don't need such things like that.
Kwa barozi si kama vile.
No, insist. Did this person steal your money or you gave him money and maybe what you intended or the intent of your money has not been actioned? So because you're telling us lies, we are going to arrest you and we are going to take you to police station.
Wewe nikuulize, alikuibia au unamdai? Hatutaki kusikia. Ni wewe ndo sasa tutarest tupeleke pale kituoni. Huyu kama gozu jamaa angekufa.
Questions him and says that this person could be unalive. Then the complainant now asks, why was this person running? Imagine you are on your way, then because you have somebody's money, somebody is busy shouting, thief, thief, and you know very well this is a society where we have a lot of uneducated people, a lot of primitive people. When somebody shouts a name like that, the next thing that is being done is mob justice. Then you are being unalived.
Mura, wewe umemleta hapa umesema ni mwizi Mura, au unatufanya wajinga? Ni fundi gani? Tueleza amekulagai pesa gani?
Mayuguno becomes agitated, asking the individual, why were you screaming that this person is a thief? Yeah? Why did you reconsider something else? Because saying a thief to somebody, and you know how the crowd is, they can even analyze that person. So everything now takes a different turn, and now people are against the complainant.
Pesa gani? Amekulagai pesa gani? Acha ujinga Mura. Acha ujinga Mura.
Mayuguno asked him, why are you taking us to be fools? If you said, which type of mason is he? Yeah? Because your story is not adding up. Claiming somebody is a thief, then you are now saying is a mason. So this is not adding up totally.
Gaya unamudai au umekulagai Mura? Acha ujinga. Unaua watu hapa. Acha ujinga Mura. Nani tuwe mtu ni mwizi amekuibia nini?
The crowd is now coming for the complainant and asking him, this person has scammed you which money? Tell us which money has been scammed from you, because that is what the crowd now is asking. Even I can see another individual pointing fingers. Say the reality, what happened. So that is what that individual is asking. Mayuguno tells him, stop being foolish. Stop that stupidity. You are claiming this person has stolen from you. Which money has been scammed from you? Yeah, let us be realistic. And you are now bringing crowd. You are now putting yourself that this individual has scammed you money. Show people how this individual has scammed money. So the crowd is against the complainant. Muguno is asking, if this person is a thief, what has he stolen from you? Now the crowd becomes agitated, and they pull this complainant and tell him to sit down. One of the people is slapping this individual because of giving out false information about the same about the thief incidents and everything. Crowd became wild to this complainant, asking that, why do you take us as your own babies? Why do you lie to us? You want us to unalive somebody because of a false allegation. Then Mayuguno comes and defends the complainant again, telling the people that don't beat this individual. Let us hear from him first before any other thing. Individual, the complainant, is now explaining himself, saying that I have a letter from a police station. That is, he was speaking in Korean language. Police has arrived and asks if there is anybody who has any question they should be asking, and he questions the suspected thief. Why were you running? Tell us, why were you running? If you know very well you are not having any problems, why were you running? The suspected thief explains himself and says that this individual came where I do my work. Yeah, My name is Chacha and this is what happened.
Yes. Mimi ni jamaa alikuja akakuta nikitengeneza hizi viti.
So the suspected thief says that this individual came, got me making these chairs, and then he was interjected and said because he wanted to show a proof of the chair that he was making. Then they told him, just speak, don't show us the chairs or what are the evidence, yeah? The suspected thief says that this individual came to where I do my all duties or at my workplace and told me, please make for me chairs like this one and put rangi ya ugoro means a brownish color, yeah, brownish color. So make for me these type of seat.
Alikuja akakuta natengeneza viti, akaniambia nataka viti design kama hii na kitambaa ya rangi ya ugoro. Jamaa akaja akakuta nimeshashona kiti moja, akaja kakata hiyo kitambaa, itahitaji hiyo kitambaa.
This individual came and got that I've made one seat, and he was not motivated about the color of that clothing, yeah. So this individual claimed back his money, saying that you have now to give me my money, yeah.
Akaenda bila alirudi akarudi.
The individual went and came back telling him to return his money. Then he told him that right now you don't have money, the money I used in buying the material, so you just go, when I sell these chairs I'll be returning you your money, yeah.
Nikamwambia sasa hivi sina hela, labda usubiri nimalize hizo vitu. Akaanza kusema mimi kama utanirudishia hela yangu nitakuua.
Now the suspected thief is telling people that this individual threatened him that when he got that, when I didn't return his money, he went ahead and told me that he will unalive me if I don't return his money. And he goes ahead and says that he went to Nyankore because he's saying that he comes from Nyankore. He went to Nyankore and he went there and got information that the same individual went there and has told people to, actually was telling people that he's going to do something very bad, yeah. And this individual has scammed him 30,000 Kenyan shillings. That is the information that the thief is saying, that the same individual told some people in Nyankore where he's coming from that he's going to do something to him because he has scammed him 30,000 shillings.
Nikaenda Nyankore kazi, nikapata taarifa eti jamaa alienda kunitafuta eti nimepotea na hela yake shilingi 30,000. Nikaambia huyo mtu alimwajia ripoti.
Sasa sikiza hapa. Yaani sababu mimi naongea, unajua hiyo ni kiasi. Pesa ambayo alikupea hata wakati alielezana si hiyo unasema.
Ni shilingi 6,000. Alinitumia 5,000 kwa simu.
Sasa unaongea ni nini?
This interjects and say that the money that you are speaking here is not even 30,000. We are speaking about 6,000 shillings, not 30,000 shillings. The OB itself reads 6,000 shillings. Why are you speaking about 30,000 shillings? That is what we call the hearsays.
Unajua tusi waste time hapa kwa vitu ambayo wewe unaongea na ni uongo. Hello? Yes.
Wewe ulipewa pesa ngapi?
Mimi nilipatiwa shilingi 6,000. 5,000 alinitumia kwa simu 1,000 akanipatia cash.
The individual explains himself. This individual gave me 6,000, 1,000 shillings via actually cash, then 5,000 shillings via M-Pesa transaction.
So pesa yote ni 6,000.
6,000.
Hiyo ndio
alinipatia.
Hiyo ndio amesema. Sasa hiyo yako ya 30 unaongea ni ya wapi? Kama hujapata kwa mdomo yake na yeye ndiye alikupea kazi, hiyo umepata wapi?
Mimi nilipata nyumbani, sasa nilienda.
Haya. Fanya namna hii. Alikupea 6,000. Si ndio? Wapi 6,000 tunataka? Kwa sababu
officer asked the suspected thief, if this individual gave you the 6,000, where is the 6,000? We need that 6,000 and we finish this business. Then this suspected thief now claims that I used that money to buy materials, to do what? To do a lot of... He's giving out a lot of information that nobody asks him, yeah? You know, sometimes, even for me, somebody's come to me the 10,000 that is meant for to bring me some, we call it the ballast. Up to now, that ballast has not been brought. Yeah, up to now, so I'm speaking, that ballast has not ever been brought. The individual, I was having a phone text, yeah, with him, is telling me I had to fuel the tipper or the vehicle, and I was asking that, how was my money used to fuel this tipper, and yet you have not delivered materials to me? That does not make sense. It does not concern me in any way, because I gave you my money. Why can't you return my money the way I gave it to you? Stop giving me a lot of information. Fueling for what? Buying materials for what? Now the police said now we need to go to the police station.
hiyo ndio kitu ulifanya wakati ulimuona ukatoroka.
The officer asked that, why did you run? If you know very well you don't have any problems. Then he goes ahead and questions, do you have, okay, you have said that you bought those materials. Do you have those materials? Now the individual says that, yes, I have that material. They are in a border post office of mine. And the officer said, okay, let us go. We'll see if those materials are there. Let us go.
Hiyo ofisa vile alinipatia hiyo deposit ya hiyo kazi, nilichukua hiyo hela nilinunua na material ya hiyo kazi.
Sasa hizo material ziko? Ziko? Ziko wapi?
Ziko board.
Tunaenda board sasa.
Officer pulls out the handcuff and tells the individual, this work is so easy. So easy, yeah? Let us now look how things are now going through.
Because sasa ushtukia unaua mtu hapa.
Chini hapa.
Mwanzo venye watu wa
watu lipe.
Hata kama umekosea unatulia unaongea na mama umekosea. Ukikimbia unajua una
tungemuua bure kile mwizi. Wote ni wahalifu. Wote ni wahalifu. Weka wote timu waende.
Huyu ni complainant.
They're asking themselves, we could have alive this individual, and this individual is not even a thief. We could do that and look at the type of maybe it can be even scamming or what. Look at the type of thing that he has done. It is not worth to be alive. Then they go ahead and say that they need to arrest even the complainant. They need to put them handcuffed, both of them, because one giving out false information, another one being suspected to be the thief. So, and the police question and ask, so I've come here with a motorcycle. How can I carry two people? Then one, okay, both of them are handcuffed. That is not possible. Then the crowd now becomes joking and tells the police, this person has to pay us for wasting our time, yeah, and maybe creating something like a false accusation toward this individual. You need to pay us, yeah. So having said that, that is all about the conversation. Let us now dive deep to the whole story and my take about the whole incidents.
Sasa ataka kwa pikipiki namna gani wakifungiwa?
Mwambie atoe chai ya wazee. Ndio muende na yeye. Bila hiyo hawezi enda huyu jamaa, mtatuachia.
Sasa nyinyi mtamwachia.
After translating that clip, it is now time to dive deep, and I'll be giving us my own take. What happened from the start up to the end, and is this individual still in the police custody? Because we know very well, today being a public holiday in Kenya, this individual is inside the police custody. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who have not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals. And for those who are coming across it, I do reaction videos, especially to the videos that are posted in public domain. I also have another YouTube channel that goes by the name Vibe with Lumumba. Let us support all these YouTube channels. Let us make it happen. So let us dive to what allegedly happened. According to accounts being shared, a complainant reportedly spotted a man and began shouting that he is a thief. As often happens in many communities, people nearby responded immediately. Crowds gathered, tension increased. Some people reportedly wanted instant justice. The accused man was surrounded and questioned, and the discussions continued. A different story emerged. The man reportedly claimed that he was not a thief at all. Instead, he said there has been a business agreement involving the making of chairs. According to his version, he received a deposit of 6,000, 1,000 shillings paid cash, 5,000 shillings alleged sent via M-Pesa. He used the money to purchase materials. He began the work. So he further claimed that the customer later wanted a refund after becoming dissatisfied of what he was doing. According to him, he could not immediately return the money because it had already been invested in material. Whether that explanation is true or not, it is something for investigators to determine the whole reality, because sometimes in this life, the story that you're being given in one side is not equal to the story that you received from the other side. So, whether the explanation is true or not true, let us leave the proper authorities to conduct investigation to determine the whole reality. But suddenly, the situation looked much more complicated than a simple theft accusation. People went there. Some people, we can see them with sticks. Some people we can see. Even I saw a woman there with a stick, like a mob justice. I was like, now this thing has escalated even. Instead of, okay, I don't want to say that. So this issue has escalated even. We can see even women there. They want to do what we call mob justice, yeah? So let me say the role of Mayuguno. And one aspect that stood out was the role reportedly played by Mayuguno himself. Instead of encouraging violence, he reportedly contacted the police and headed to the scene. That decision may have prevented a dangerous situation becoming fatal, because all these parties, now this one person is the one who said this is a thief, this other person, now the story or the claim is now going through the other side. So whether one person agrees with Mayuguno on other issues or not, calling the police rather than encouraging violence is the correct approach, because once a mob attacks someone, there is no undo button. A person can lose their life in a minute, and later people discover they had a wrong person. And this reminds me a story that I'll be bringing on about Omari Chacha, who was unalived, and now people are saying that this individual is not a thief, this individual was mistaken, this individual was only sent. Yeah, I'll be talking about that story. And let me say about the moment the crowd changed. Perhaps when I was looking at that clip, most interesting part of the story is when the crowd reportedly started questioning the complainant. The crowd reportedly asked, what if this person was not a thief? What if we had unalive him? That or those are the powerful questions. For once, some people appeared willingly to hear both sides before acting. That is something we rarely see in mob justice situations. Usually, accusations come first, violence follows. First come, later. Thus, this time, some people reportedly paused and demanded explanation. That pause may have saved a life. And I think the reason why they had this conversation is because what happened lastly should not be a repeat, because now the community, because somebody was unalived, the Burundian, yeah, because Omari Chacha is a Burundian, and a lot of things has been happening the other time. The DCI were there, you know. This is something that has to be investigated, and you know, it was like adopted to a family. So this the information, because before you bury somebody, this individual has to, you have to get the certificate of, it is called death certificate, and getting that means that you have to engage the DCI, you have to engage the police, so that you can get that certificate, so that you can pick the body from the morgue and you bury the body. And this is the condition they were given. If you cannot bury that person in your own premise, you can transport the body back to Burundi to the family. And you know, transporting this body to the family, because nobody knows where the family belongs of Omari Chacha. Nobody, yeah. Even Chacha, he was given that name in Korea land, yeah. And I don't know Omari if he was given in Korea land. I'm not that much sure. But now things are now becoming very messy. Even for me, I was thinking, why could these people go bury Omari Chacha maybe in a cemetery in near, because even in Isibania, Nyabuhanse, we have some cemetery, so some people can be buried there. So it is only about paying money, then burying that individual from that point, you know, because you can't tell me you want to bury somebody in maybe in your ancestral land and this individual was not part of the family, even though, you know, when you adopt somebody, this individual now becomes part of the family. But when you look at the bloodline, the bloodline does not fit in anywhere. Let me speak about the police response. The police arrived. They accused the individual was handcuffed and taken to the police station. The complainant reportedly accompanied the officer. Police reportedly asked about the 6,000 deposit that this person was given, and money had already been used to purchase material. Now, this becomes a matter for proper investigation. Police can verify M-Pesa records, witness statements, material purchase, because you can hear the police saying this case is so easy because he's going to see the material purchases, communication between both parties. They have to conduct their own business, whether there was genuinely business agreement. That is exactly why police investigation exists, not because police are perfect, but because facts really matter. Let me make a take in these incident. This month alone, today's first, last month, and even these incidents happened last month, yeah, because today is first. So let me just say, this month alone, we have witnessed multiple deaths linked with or to mob justice. That should concern every Kenyan. The problem with mob justice is simple. A guilty person can be arrested, an innocent person can be unalived. Once a crowd becomes emotional, fact often disappears. People stop asking questions. People stop listening. People stop thinking. They simply react. And reaction without evidence can be deadly. What worries me most about this case is how close it's reportedly came to ending differently. Imagine if nobody had asked questions. Imagine if nobody had called the police. Imagine if the crowd had acted immediately. Today, we might be discussing a funeral instead of a dispute. That is why every accusation deserves investigation. Being accused is not the same as being guilty. Let me talk about the lesson that we have learned. We have learned several lessons. 1, never participate in mob justice. 2, if you respect a crime, call the police. Lesson 3, listen to both sides. Lesson 4, business disagreement should not automatically become criminal accusation. Lesson 5, human life is precious. No amount of anger justifies taking a life without following the due process. And let me conclude by saying this. As this matter continues, only investigators can determine exactly what happened. But one thing is clear, a situation that could have become a mob justice tragedy instead became an opportunity to ask questions, and perhaps that is the bigger question. Before we join a crowd, before we believe accusation, before we condemn someone, we should ask, what if we are wrong? Because if we are wrong after someone has lost their life, now apology can bring back life. Let me know your thoughts, because we are the community. We are learning every day like this. It is opportunity of people to learn. People now ask themselves, if we could analyze this individual due to false allegations or accusation, what could happen? Do you think the mob justice is getting out of control? Did the crowd do the right thing by questioning both sides? And what should be done to prevent more death linked to mob justice in Kenya? Subscribe, like, comment. Let us stay tuned to more discussion. Goodbye for now. Till we meet next time. Goodbye.